Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with me, Linkmaster10. This time, going through Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Not the full game, although that might be fun. But I've been doing a lot of bingos with my brother. We've also been doing some photo challenges. And it's kind of wanted to put me in the mood to do one and record. This is just solo, I'm just playing by myself. Not because I don't have friends, although probably also that. But yeah, figured I'd just kind of show off. I do have a bingo card. This is not the one I'm going to use. In fact, let me go ahead and start a new game here. Because we got to get through this intro. But while we're doing that, let's go ahead and generate a card. So I will link the website that I'm going to use to generate the card in the description here. So you guys can generate your own. They have normal, short, and long. I am doing short because I don't want to be here forever. I still kind of expect this will take a couple hours here. But yeah, we're going to kind of see. So apologize that the card's a little shrunken. This is the best way I found to kind of fit all of it in. So let's see. I will probably have to look some things up. Also, just for reference, off to the side, on my side of the monitor here, I do have a shrine map up. So it has all 120 shrines and the towers listed just for reference. More just for map purposes. Alright, I'm going through this intro here. Let's see.
Is a Sheikah slate.
Flamebreaker Helm might not be a bad idea.
After your long slumber.
I will say typically with the way the bingo is supposed to be set up is you're really supposed to do the intro without picking up anything. And there's a cool video that's linked that shows you exactly how to do that. So how to do like the cold sections without getting the warm doublet, all that stuff. It is fun to do that, but my brother and I, when we've been playing recently, we've also kind of decided to just skip past that. So we could technically pick up the clothes here, but that's fine. Who needs pants in Hyrule? But yeah, so you're supposed to do it as like organically as possible, not pick up bows or any other type of weapons, no food. But I think it kind of creates another fun challenge if you're still able to pick up some stuff. Okay, let's see. Great Plateau Koroks won't be bad. The 7 Heroines, ugh, that's going to Gerudo. Coco's Cooking is not too bad. Ridgeland Tower's trash, looking at row 4 here. 2 Shrine Quests, Hylian Tunic, Idni, Guardian Sword. Ooh, okay. So I'm kind of thinking column 4.
You are the light.
And my categories.
Our light.
You are the light, our light.
Shine upon Hyrule once again.
Register a horse wouldn't be too bad. Alright, let's get out of here. So I do know some text, nothing fancy. I'm not going to be doing any bomb jumps or wind bombs, whatever you call it. But yeah, I'm thinking I'll do column 4 here. 2 Shrine Quests, Hylian Tunic, Guardian Sword, Central Tower, Mighty Elixir. So that might make it a little quicker. Yeah, I don't remember what the Sunken Treasure is. I feel like that's at one of the stables that you can do that. Three Hateno Koroks might not be as bad either. Chilling Meal. Flamebreaker Helm kind of stinks. So now that I kind of do pick up stuff here with playing this with my brother, I kind of do have a standard route. I'm going to ignore the old man. We have to talk to him way more than we ever want to. But I will steal this axe. Alright, so all I'm doing is just heading to the tower. I'm not going to clip through. I don't know how to do it anyway. So I do have to activate the tower to unlock the shrine portion of it. So I should get a prompt here in just a second. Griselda, Link, continue in what you're doing.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
I would say the shrine map is also really nice because sometimes when you're trying to decide what is in what area, like when it talks about Lanayru shrines or certain number of Koroks, it is helpful to kind of know exactly where you need to go for that. Because my, I would say, ability with geography in real life and in games is severely lacking. So to have that area kind of already designated is nice. Alright, see if I can get this. Yeah, so steal his shield. Not really for added defense, but shield surfing is wonderful. But yeah, this is really nice because this is the time, since stuff has to load through and all that. It's a good time to look stuff up. Again, I don't think I'll need to with this shrine quest. 1 for column 4. Yeah, alright. Yeah, Guardian Sword. There's a couple tests of strength I can do. I think one of them has a Guardian Sword. I know there's the one by Kakariko. There's also one by the Great Plateau. Although I don't know if it has a sword. But we might be able to do a couple minor tests of strength around Hyrule. Another thing with the bingo card, at least through this particular website, is when it talks about getting like equipment, like clothing, unless it specifies, you can actually go for the chest piece. But like sometimes you'll see one that will say like the Hylian hood, or like this one says the Flamebreaker helm. So obviously you know which one you need to get. And hopefully you guys can't hear me mashing too profusely. Alright, so it's just gonna drop down here. So you can technically like circumvent by going around the tower, but I kind of found this is a little quicker. That way you can drop down and not die as I take some damage. Usually I've been lucky that I've been able to drop where I've been far enough down that when I drop, I don't take any damage and it sparks this dude to talk. I still do not know what are the preferred text choices to speed him up. He's gonna blab on anyway. And I would know I'm blabbing on. But like I said, I've been having a lot of fun just playing this game anyway, but it's been a lot of fun to do this as like a pseudo-competitive thing with my brother. So we've been generating bingo cards, or like I said, we've been coming up where we come up with 5 pictures each, and we typically do like a picture of an NPC, a picture of a location, an item. I'm trying to think what else. A wild, that might be it. And then, yeah, so we then have 10 things we have to do. It's kind of fun. It creates some routing on the fly. I do not want to run through the water. I will in just a second here, but not yet. And it is cool because you kind of get some new little secrets that you, I say secrets, but, you know, some areas you wouldn't typically go, or some characters that you probably just skip through, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that's this one. I will say, though, I have gotten bitten in the bottom several times doing the pictures, because I have a game where I have played a lot further, because we restart every time. So I have a game that I've just been playing kind of in my own time, doing the Vine Beasts and shrines and stuff like that. So specifically what happens is NPC locations may change depending on where you are in a Divine Beast quest. So specifically what I've run into with issues is characters that in my other file are in Zora's Domain just chillin' are not in Zora's Domain yet until you beat the Divine Beast. So I go to find them, and they're not there. So that has been the bane of my existence probably 3 or 4 different times. Where in my one game they're in Zora's Domain, but when you start a new file, they are not. Or I had one, I actually like despawned an NPC because she was in this, I don't know, cyber loop of she'd be there at a certain place if I didn't talk to Sidon. So after talking to Sidon and before defeating the, what is it, Vah-Ruta or whatever, this lady's in this just non-existent spot. So that's what I ran into, because somehow I missed her on my way to Zora's Domain. So I just despawned her and couldn't find her. Alright, we're gonna skip this. Should be able to shield jump. So some kind of neat little text you can learn. Very, very easy, even for a casual person. That's not me, just like strutting my own stuff. It's super easy. With whistle sprinting, what makes it easy is when you press the down arrow on the left Joy-Con to whistle, and then you just hit your B button, which is your normal run button, you can keep the running speed, but still recover your stamina. It's also super duper nice for climbing some of the surfaces where it's just like, it's not high enough that you have to climb, but it's angled enough that you can kind of run up it and maintain your stamina. Because I will say, Link trying to climb stuff he shouldn't is so annoying. Or having to fight with wet surfaces if you can run up it, that's a really nice time save. Yeah, he's gonna talk to us some more. Paraglider, please. I like when you do it again. I've got more to say. Yeah, I've yet to finish speaking. So yeah, I'm not doing this as the traditional bingo rules dictate. But like I said, I feel like this goes pretty quick. This is something my brother and I've kind of prided ourselves on, is getting faster each time. Alright, so I will warp to the tower to kind of follow the same method. However, there's a couple decent things you can get from these chests. I want to say it's like an opal and maybe arrows. And I am going to need to buy the Hylian tunic, so I am going to need some type of money. Yeah, this is just an opal. So you can do this really at any point. However, you can kind of go over to this path here. And those 2 chests have fire and ice arrows, which I probably won't need. But it is nice to have them just in case. So what you can technically do is once you get Cryonis, you can create a block and go across. But if you shield jump, you can barely make it across. Again, another thing that feels pretty good when you get it. It does damage your shield pretty good when you shield jump on these harder surfaces, but definitely worth it. There's some other stuff you can get too, but we'll come back this direction. There's an easy way to get money on the Great Plateau if you guys weren't familiar with it. Again, it's been kind of part of my standard opening, depending on what I have to do. I will have to look up the Mighty Elixir. Because that might be the thing that takes the longest, potentially. Alright, like I said, just... Nope. Went far over enough. Probably gonna get... Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Nope. This is what I'm talking about, Link trying to climb everything. I can't believe I didn't die from that, but okay. So yeah, whistle sprinting, you can see I'm still maintaining the same speed as I stumble over every rock. But now we're just gonna head to the bomb shrine here. Again, you can stop and fight the enemies along the way and get some bow and some arrows. You can prioritize not activating one of these. No, Link. Not activating one of these guys, but it's pretty quick. The only thing that's annoying is, yeah, turns your camera the wrong way. Just put me back where I was, thank you. Alright, here we go. Alright, while that's going... Oops, I always forget this part. Alright, now while it's going, what is a mighty elixir? Ooh, I think this is a bladed rhino beetle. I feel like you can get one of those on the plateau. Yeah, it looks like a bladed rhino beetle. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oops. I was already 2 steps ahead. No, swap over. So I should be in a good rhythm. And we'll just wait this out. Obviously get across with a shield jump, but again, I'd like my shield to... Whew, almost missed it. Last a little bit longer here, so I can surf on it. There we go. Yeah, you can save a couple... Oh. You know what? I haven't done that in so long. There we go. Yeah, had I done it correctly the first time, you could have just blown it all up in one go and not had to use a second bomb. Okay, so we skip through that. Yeah, it says in the Great Plateau, I feel like I said, I feel like there's one close to the Shrine of Resurrection. I absolutely could be wrong, though. So for the shrine quests, I know one of them is the flower one. I forget what that shrine name is. I think it's like Hilo Rao or something like that. Oh, I didn't mean to. Nope, Link, let it go. And then the other one, there's a couple. There's one in around Hateno I can do. There's also one in Lanayru. It's where you can get the climbers, I don't know, the pants, not the bandana, but one of the climbers' gears that you can get. That's part of a shrine quest. You know what? While I'm here, let's wreak some havoc on some people's days. Again, it's more just to get the shield. I guess the weapons can potentially be helpful, but let's get that. Oh, good, an acorn. Excuse me. And then I like to come over here and pick these up. Mushrooms, you can cook them for a nice speed boost. There's also some hot-footed frogs that you can cook with some monster parts for a speed elixir. And we'll also pick up a couple stemella shrooms. And in his house, we're gonna get the spicy peppers. So again, typically, if you're doing the normal like bingo rules, you're not gonna cook this food and pick all this stuff up. But like I said, I'm kind of doing my own thing. And if you come and do it now before, I don't know if it's before you finish all the shrines or not, but his cooking pot for the old guy's house is lit, so you can take advantage of that. Now, I don't have a lot of stamina, so yeah, just cooking pretty much 2 of these at a time should be fine. Just in case I get in a spot where I'm climbing and can't make it up. Whereas the rushrooms, the more you cook, the higher time frame you will have. Yeah, only 2 minutes. Not too bad. And then the spicy peppers, 3 is probably plenty. Yeah, 7 minutes. Yeah, that's more than fine. And I'm going to pick a torch just in case, because if you have to go to Hatena, it is so annoying not having a torch. So all I'm going to do is just chop this down for crossing. You can also use a bomb, although obviously the bomb's a little harder to be precise on. And we're going to climb. And usually, if Link doesn't just go off the rails here and climb however he pleases, you should be able to climb without too many issues. Alright, so yeah. Again, I'm going to get the rushrooms just in case I do come by a place where I can cook. But yeah, I think once you complete this next shrine, the cooking pot at the guy's house is not lit. And up we go. And look at this, a 2-for-1 special. You know, another thing that's been fun about doing the bingos is kind of learning some additional strats. I don't think the Cryonis one really has anything like too, I say fancy, but the Stasis one, this one is fun. Because this is something that's like, man, how would somebody ever think to do this? But it's such a cool strat. Okay, well we're basically flopping our way here. Alright, bladed rhino beetle. Can I find one? Oh. If I was fast enough, I could have gotten the first cycle. I might still be able to. But yeah, the short cards are definitely the way to go. There's still some ones you're like, man, how did they consider that short? Yeah, maybe if I had a insanely good execution. And we're probably gonna have to wait for this one to go. Otherwise we'd be murdered. It's fine. And I forget what's in the chest. It's nothing super exciting, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Anyway, so you technically can shield hop, again, if you have a shield. But you can do a little shield jump to avoid the ball. But if you just magnesis this and just walk forward with it, it's going to move the ball out of the way. And that way you don't technically have to collect it. I just did because I'm going to use this pretty quickly after the 4th shrine. But again, that's a nice little workaround. I like it. also, if you guys were not aware, so you can go up this way to the cold area. And this is, again, kind of the benefit of whistle sprinting. But on this little platform here is another sledgehammer. So if you just need another one or you lose it or whatever, there you go. Alright, Central Tower Koroks. Oh, come on, Link. So what the trick is in this one, if you're doing it without food, is you basically run as far as you can until you get down to half a heart. Or, yeah, I guess it'd be half a heart. And then you just save your game. And then when you die, it's going to load you back in. But this time you're going to have full hearts again. So you can run a little bit further. Typically, I think at that you can make it in 2 or 3 attempts. Oh, that would have been bad. I got myself so off track there. That would have been an icy cold bath. I have really gotten myself off track here. Well, I was supposed to climb up a little bit to get some height. That's my bad. That's what I get for talking. Link? Let it go. Alright. Alright, well, we can salvage a little bit of shield surfing. Game's like, where in the world are you? That's where I'm wanting to go. Alright. We're good. We're good. Watch out for snow! Yeah, again, whistle sprinting is pretty good uphill. Alright. So, last shrine here, gonna be under 30 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It is funny though, the first couple times you do this without any type of like weapons or food or anything, and you realize you have to like be super creative with dodging the enemies. Not that they're super tough, but they're more annoying. So getting sniped by a guardian, it's like, oh great, thanks. Yeah, I was just looking at the card and seeing if there's anything else. Not in a row. I mean, I feel like if I could sporadically take some stuff, I'd do, like, the dubious food. The 3 Great Plateau Koroks. The Snow Quill Tunic isn't difficult, really. It's just expensive. See? No, that's... It's really cool when you get that all in one go. But I did not. Yeah, another chest. I think that's like a spear or something. Nothing exciting. Yeah, the Forest Dweller's equipment, it's not too bad, but you obviously do have to go towards the Lost Woods. Or I think you can actually find one in a chest around Hyrule Castle. But yeah, Ridgeland Tower is terrible because there's a whole there's the electric Wizrobes, there's a whole bunch of like Zalfos camping around it. Minigame is having to go around Hebra as well. Oh yeah, that's right. Ho! so we're gonna warp, oops, warp here. There might be a quicker way, but I don't really know if there's one without the paraglider yet. Yeah, Kala shrines, you just have to go so far. Chili meal's probably not bad. I've actually already done that one. Alright, now the thing is, I feel like there is a beetle around here. I don't know which tree or if it's time sensitive. However, I cannot hear the audio and I didn't feel like fussing around with OBS. So I can't even like hear the little bug sounds, I guess. I don't know. Whatever you want to call that. Alright. I'll just do a generic creeping here. I found him before. That's a Hylian shroom. Not upset about that. Oh, that might be him. Okay, yeah, we're good. Oh, I scared something else off. That's alright. We'll go ahead and get these. Just some more food. No. Yeah, I will be letting it go. Alright, let's go! Yeah, so that food that the old guy was protecting is now safe. If you need a Korok, there's one there. Obviously, there's several around Great Plateau here. I know there's one on the way to the Cryonis Shrine. If you go kind of more on like the left side where I kind of went way east than I wanted to. But yeah, there's a circle of rocks that you just have to find the missing one and put it in. Alright, so I'm going to do the stuff with the old guy first, and then I'll come in, turn in for the stamina. Yeah, there's also another Korok up at the top there you can climb to, so that's an easy one to get as well. Alright, now I just need to skip 3 cutscenes. 1, 2, and one that doesn't really look like you can skip it, but you can. I wish you guys could see my cat. He is laying so weirdly. Even by cat standards. Alright. Got our first 4 shrines done. If you are doing one of these and it does say complete like 7 shrines or whatever, the 4 Great Plateau shrines actually are supposed to count towards that. Again, you can kind of play with whatever rules you want. Alright, we'll get the bow. Yep. And again, we're just gonna go down here. I typically always do stamina, which means I have to be very mindful about button mashing here. See, my thing isn't I'm worried about selecting the wrong thing and like choosing a heart instead. I just am notorious for hitting the B button just to skip through, and so it'll cancel out and then I have to talk to her again. Okay, so again, I think the main thing's gonna be I have this bladed rhino beetle thing for the mighty elixir. So I just need to get to a shrine, a stable. I'm gonna go ahead, I don't know if this is faster or not. But yeah, I can just get to a stable just so I know there's a cooking pot there. So what I'm doing here, the reason I set a marker is there's a place called Hopper Pond on the Great Plateau. And right around there is a stone talus. And he is super easy to beat, especially if you have a sledgehammer. So it's a really easy way to make some early money to buy equipment. It can be kind of annoying if you're having the little skeleton dude show up. I can never remember what those enemies are called. The Stalfos or something. Stalkoblins. But yeah, here's another Korok too. You can just use a bomb to get rid of the leaves. Don't really want to whistle sprint as much in case I'm going to be waking up other stuff. But we should be getting close. I lied, I'm going to whistle sprint. He's going too slow. And then another Korok area. Okay, here it is. So there's a couple mushrooms around here you can pick up for food. But here's our boy. And that usually happens every single time. Link. I'm about to get smashed by him, aren't I? I don't have my stasis upgraded yet, so I can't, like, freeze him for 2 seconds. Alright, here we go. Alright, so get a full stamina thing. And charge it up. And you can see how quickly his health's going down. There you go. Yep, we know. Again, there's a couple other chests around that have like amber or opals in them. One went kind of far. Okay, the only other thing I want to do, actually, I'm sorry, I was completely wrong. It's around this area, but I just use Hopper Pond because I know it's around that area. But I'm going to go ahead and go to the Stasis Trial. Because if you don't get the warm doublet from the guy before, and you finish the 4 shrines and get the paraglider, you can actually go back to his little hut and pick it up. So obviously you can get there from a couple different places, but I feel like having the high ground here, which we know is always important, that could be helpful. There's, in that little kind of outcrop where you see like the green spot and stuff, and there's like a wooden door, there's 5 bomb arrows. That can be very helpful. But yeah, here you go. So not technically required, but since I'm planning to go to Lanayru, this just gives me a little bit of cold protection. But yeah, you can see cooking pot is no more. Do I want... I might take the food here. Since I'm going to be pretty low health for this, just steal this. I can get another shield, but I think I'll be fine for now. This guy's not a super good lookout, is he? Is that Link? Oh crap. Okay. Let's warp again, and let's go to the Central Tower region, get some Koroks. Hylian Tunic, that's going to be in Kakariko, so we need to head that way. That's going to also put us by our Shrine Quest, at least one of them. One thing that is important to note that you kind of don't think about when you're doing this out of order, because you're so used to, you know, following the normal trajectory, is your Shrine Sensor is not going to activate until you do the Hatena stuff with Pura. Or if you activate another tower outside of the Great Plateau. So just keep that in mind. If you do have shrines and you don't know where they are, and you want that assistance, you will need to climb a tower or do the Hateno stuff. So Kakariko, Hateno. Alright. Oh. Do I not have regular? Okay. Uh-oh. Gotta be pretty precise here. I really don't want to waste fire arrows for... Oops. That was a... I think that was my bad, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What's happening? Alright, this is starting to get embarrassing. Alright, where's that third one? Probably flew away out of embarrassment for me. Alright. Well, an awful job initially. But that's one down. Yeah. Shush. Yeah, there we go. As I say, there should be horses around here. I think most of these you can get with your normal stamina, or maybe even a little extra wheel here, but... Yeah. Just know with horses, they can be the bane of your existence. Yeah, see? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark my map. So that's Kakariko. So the shrine for the shrine quest is gonna be around here. There's also gonna be a stable kind of here-ish. And I also want to go around this area because there should be 2 Koroks there for the central tower. Yeah, I definitely marked my map because, as I told you guys, I get confused and turn around and lost super easy. Oh, hi, horsies. So anything that I can do to help with that is beneficial. So I marked it somewhat towards the Shrine of Power. You can kind of see it already around that rock mountain there. But the reason I did the Shrine of Power, like I said, I know there's 2 Koroks around there. The Shrine of Power is also a really good way, and hopefully my horse will stay there. Get the apples. Link actually wanted you to get more than that. Am I too far off? I don't know. I'm gonna grab my horse though. Even though he's not the best, still helpful when going to Kakariko, which I will. But the Shrine of Power is nice, even though it is annoyingly long. You can very quickly get an Edge of Duality, which is a 50 strength weapon. And I mean, that's just great at any point in the game, but especially early on. And you really only have to go a couple screens into the shrine here to do so. Oh, okay, go ahead, horse. Also, another thing that's really helpful with these different bingos is activating warp points. Because that's another thing that you don't really think about, because you're like, oh yeah, I just explore and I get a bunch of stables and towers, and you're not going to have that. Alright, I think it's up there. That's fine, I can remove that marker. Is this the one I'm thinking of? I don't know if it is. Ooh. Yeah, I think it is. I think that's the tree. It's got a Korok apple puzzle. Yeah. So this should be an easy one. Oop, wrong way. Yeah. Okay, that's number 2. And obviously there's Koroks all around until you're trying to look for them. Anyway, another good thing around the Shrine of Power is this is the ancient tree stump. And you can't see it from this angle, but there's actually a great flame blade in there, which is another super great weapon. So I will probably grab that. Yeah, now you can see it spawning in. But just know you gotta grab it and run, because these guys suck. And then if you just... Oops. I think I'm too low now. No, there we go. Alright, that's our 3. So I want to warp back, because it's dangerous. So that is going to be 3 Central Tower Koroks. Go team! What are the chances that the horse that I didn't register is still here? Oh yeah, he gone. Oh no, he is. He's right there. Buddy! Hello! He's like, yeah, you doubted me, you jerk. You kidnapped me from my family. And then you don't trust me? Alright, well, the good thing about having the flame blade is that should be really helpful, because with that and the warm doublet, we should have enough cold protection to go to the Lanayru mountain that I'm wanting to access. Again, hopefully the bingo card isn't too blurry for you guys. I just feel like this was the best way for me to set it up. Alright. So let's go to the blue, because there should be a stable. You don't have to register a horse. Oh, there's another Korok thing. Little flower you follow. But you don't have to register a horse. I sometimes do just as a precaution, because I feel like it can sometimes take forever to get one. Alright, there's a shrine. Or maybe not. There's a rock formation. And more horsies! Jeez, I swear I've never seen this many horses. I feel like they're like the Koroks. When you don't need them, you see a freaking stampede of horses all the time. But when you're actively trying to look for them, they're not there. Alright. I see a shrine. So is there a stable up around here? Oh. Some of the horses are really funny. If you use the stamina too much, they'll buck you off. Like, alright, you could have just said something. Nope, I'm going right into that guy's back pocket. Alright, I think this is it. I love the guys just dancing around. I remember that was one of the picture things that I did was... Oh, sorry, horse. Was to take a selfie with the sleeping bokoblin. Okay, yeah, so I had this marked pretty decently. Again, I do have a map in front of me on an iPad, so do not be impressed. Alright, Riverside Stable. I'm gonna save before I cook. Actually, I need to make sure. Do I even have monster parts? I do not. That's okay. Let's just go ahead and activate this shrine as a warp point. Just so we have it. I can cook the monster or the whatever elixir at any point, so it's not a big deal. And I don't honestly want to talk to Beetle, because since I have the Beetle, he's gonna be spazzing out about it. And I can sell in Kakariko. I do, however, need to be heading in the right direction. Yeah, and there's a cooking pot in Kakariko, so I'll be fine. Now, what I'm looking for next is the shrine that's kind of across the water. That should be the Hello Rao or whatever. Oh, actually, wait, did I pass by that? No, I think it's over here. Did it cross the bridge? Horse, seriously, you can't figure it out? Oh, also, I said I was going to register the horse and forgot. There it is. Celebrating that he killed a traveler. Oh, actually, I need your monster parts. There we go. That's why I did it, guys. All part of the plan. You know, these bingo challenges are definitely something that, like, when it comes together and your routing is so efficient, you feel like the smartest person ever. Oops. Oh, I do want Cronus. It doesn't often happen, and it doesn't consistently happen where, like, all in a single playthrough, but sometimes you'll have it where, like, wow, I was really proud about my routing from Hateno to this one. Alright, Octorok, calm down. Okay, so you actually don't even need to talk to the lady to initiate it. Some of the shrine quests you do. Haha. But this one you do not. You can just traverse it. And once you complete it, it'll give you credit for it. Oh, I was like, did I go the wrong way? But... oh, I knew it! I knew it. As soon as I jumped, I was like, why did I do that? Why did I jump? This is where Revali's Gale would be nice. Can I bomb the flowers? That teach her a lesson? Yeah, you don't have to worry about the chews, though. They won't bother you. I do feel embarrassed about that joke. Thank you for asking. Alright, see, this is crappy that they put that in there. It's because I'm recording, so I'm overthinking, like, oh gosh. Thankfully, this shrine is pretty easy. What am I doing? I have a paraglider. Oh, this thing's about to break. But this one is actually neat because you can just skip a little bit of around the block stuff. You can actually get up here and drop down like I did. That was an unfortunate waste. I'm trying to show you how efficient and cool it could be. There we go. Alright, well that was what I was supposed to do first try, but you guys get it. Alrighty, one shrine quest done. Like I said, there's so many of them. I could technically, like, go towards Hateno. I wonder if I want to do that instead of go to Lanayru. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Now, what is annoying is even after you've beat this, you still get in trouble by her if you step on the flowers. But you can kind of be warped back towards her if you just step on them. But like I said, other than that, it is a little bit annoying. She just strong arms you into not messing with them. Alright, is my horse still there? Is the question of the game. There he is. Iron True. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go through this mark here. Think you can figure it out, horse. You know, allegedly, when you have a max bond with them, they're supposed to just kind of like follow the normal trajectory. Really? That didn't count? What actually happens is the horse just does what it wants, and you're at its mercy. Yeah, I might do the Hateno thing. Horse. There's a path here. You know, maybe I'll activate like the Dueling Peaks Tower. Maybe I'll run out of all my stamina and go extra slow. Gosh, this horse just seems like he's running so slow. I'm sure he probably feels like I'm running so slow too. Excuse me, you don't mind if I don't stay, do you? Where's this thing routing me? Oh, I was like, it's like the road disappeared, and they're just like, deal with it. Is that, oh, that's an ice Wizrobe. Yeah, that's another thing. There's some Wizrobes up around like Hyrule Castle. There's like, I think it's like to the, kind of the northeast of Hyrule Castle. There's these like open tree stumps. And in the different ones, there's different Wizrobes. There's also a shrine in one of them. Or apparently you can just go here and there's 40 different Wizrobes hanging out. Alright, am I just completely just going my own way here? I thought it would route me around to Kakariko. Maybe it will, but that's way too long. I got plans. See, what happens is I don't normally have a horse, and so I just kind of navigate my own way. Sure. Okay. I can make it. Oh, another thing you learn from doing these is, or you learn sometimes the hard way, is do safety saves. Because sometimes the checkpoints the game comes up with for its autosaves are so punishing. You're like, why did you put me back at the tower I activated 5 minutes ago? That is insane. So I will do that just in case. Yeah, see, look at this. Whistle sprinting is absolutely fantastic. Keys are not fantastic. Yeah, where in the world was I going? I know you guys are all wondering the same thing. Oh, if only there's a yellow marker telling you exactly where you need to go. You know why I did it? Was just so I could get this ore deposit here and make sure I have enough for the Hylian tunic. I actually don't think it's that bad. I feel like the Hylian hood is like 60 rupees and I forget about everything else, but alright, we're gonna kind of take our time here. I'm gonna steal a drink. Oh yeah, we got this. Yeah, where in the world was I? Again, for the 50th time here. Oh man, I did have it one time that I was just starting a new file, and when my brother and I started doing the picture files, we kind of decided that we would go ahead and do the Great Plateau stuff, get the paraglider, and then we would also go to Hateno and talk to Impa. And then also, or Kakariko, excuse me, and talk to Impa. And also go to Hateno and do the stuff with Pyrrha to unlock the camera. So, like I said, we did all of that stuff just solo. And then when we started a game, we'd be at the Temple of Time. We weren't picking up any extra equipment, except a torch. And it gives you 2 quests. It usually defaults to doing the Kakariko one first, but there's also a Defeat Ganon one. And I didn't realize that was where it had set my marker. So I'm going and I'm heading towards Hyrule Castle, and I'm like, why does it feel like the marker's right towards Hyrule Castle? And I went on way too long before I realized and checked it on my map, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's exactly what that is. It's Hyrule freaking Castle. Oh, I meant to grab those chests. Didn't matter. I think, like I said, I think he has a spear. Oh, no, he's got a sword. Okay. Well, here, we'll save our flame blade. Even though it looks super cool. Yeah, and this is nice too, because you don't have to do, there's no damage indicator. So you can just hit them once and it'll progress. You think the enemies wonder why you're just hanging around in your boxers? Also, I gotta say, doing this without any sound cues is pretty impressive. Alright, I can read. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't have to charge up. Alright, dude, that was rude. Yeah. Okay, Guardian Sword acquired. Actually, I don't remember what these other weapons are. You have done well. I know. I got it. Thanks, Mom. Thank you, Mom. What are these weapons? I don't even need these, but... What are these? Eightfold blade. Okay, that's pretty neat. What else we got? Oh yeah, that's cool too. Yeah, like I said, there's another shrine kind of to the northwest of the Great Plateau. There's like a Hinox guarding the, I think it's like the Dig Dog Bridge or something like that. The Dig Dog Suspension Bridge or something. But there's a shrine at the bottom that's a minor test of strength. But like I said, I don't remember if it's a sword or if it's a spear. So this worked out great. Needed to come here anyway for the tunic. Yeah, that'd actually be really nice if this is faster than I was expecting. Alrighty. Oh, hey, y'all. Actually, I don't even think I need to talk to Impa at all, but one thing you should do is just jump from here and then land on the steps so you can avoid the little guard interaction. Alright. Again, I'm gonna just save to be safe here. And then I need the beetle. And I think just monster parts. Do I need anything else? Guess we'll find out. Wait, what? Did that beetle just fly off? Because I missed it? That is why we save. What? I was standing... I got the prompt to cook. Come on. Alright, guys. Like it never happened. Alright. Alright, mighty elixir. Boop. Stealing the pot lid. Oh, just kidding. We can't carry any more shields. Hey, lady. It's 1 in the morning. You working? Wow, you are. Yeah. I want to sell. What are you buying? Woo. Man, we got 12 ambers. I mean, I can't think of what else to do with them. Okay. Please come again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excuse me. I'd like to buy some armor. Need a Hylian tunic. Oh yeah, plenty of money. What a steal! Do 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 do. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so nice. This is gonna be done in like an hour and a half. Well, this is a fun short video, and that way, if there's interest and you guys like this style of thing, maybe it's something I can generate another bingo card for. Alright, but don't get crazy. Alright, Hateno. So, Kakariko. Hateno is a good bit further. So, what are we thinking? Like, around here? I think this is like Fort Hateno area. So, we'll do that. See a horse. Oh, I think there's also a sledgehammer thing around here. Nope, tree branch. One of the things around like the waterfall in Kakariko, though. There is. Excuse? Yeah, Guardian Shield wouldn't be too bad. Dubious Food, Great Plateau, Cocoa. Even the bowling minigame wouldn't be that bad, because like I said, that's right by the Hebra Tower. But I do think the 7 Heroines Shrine would be a little tedious, because not only do you have to get to around the Gerudo area. I don't know why I'm collecting those. But not only do you need to get to that area, though, this is one of those where you have to put the orbs in the right spot. So you have to do a lot of climbing, or you have to look it up, and just ain't fun, man. Oh, alright. You know what? Who needs shield surfing when you can just body surf? Yeah, sorry, Hestu, we're not gonna be doing it. Yeah, I think that's Hateno Tower. We might be able to make it in time to do the shrine quest. There's just one in the graveyard here. Yeah, I think it's gonna be too late, so I might just reset it. It just has to be 9 o'clock. But I can go ahead and talk to the guy anyway. I think there's a guy that mentions... about the glowing eyes in the graveyard or something like that. Uh-oh. Excuse. Oh, look, a Korok. Hello, sir. You were positively glowing at one point.
Yeah.
I wasn't sleeping. Oh, I thought you were gonna... Here. You awake now at 9 p.m.? You should be. Oh, okay. Lovely flowers. I think this is the guy that tells you about it. Can't believe he just left me alone by a fireplace, although I don't know if that'd be less creepy. Yeah, here it is. What are you up to? Aha! Of course. Doctor? Doctor who? Just the doctor. Okay, and if I remember right, and hopefully I can shoot it with just a fire arrow, it doesn't... That's gonna be funny if that's the distinction, is it has to be a regular arrow. But I think it's just up here. Possibly. A hearty radish. All right, moment of truth, everybody. Oh, yeah. Oh, he did. Burr, 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 burr. Yeah, what a short, fun bingo card. I am happy. Now I wish that this is something I could... I'm gonna go ahead and do the shrine. Even though I technically got the quest completed, we're gonna do the shrine. But yeah, this would be fun, I think, to do with my brother, just because we'd probably pick the same one, and I'm curious to see how quickly it would go. Oh, I know which one this is. I need... Technically, probably a good idea to have this one. Hey. I'm gonna need you to calm down. It's not that kind of party. Alright, now we just wait to stasis the gear. Oh, get up! Oh, boo! Well, that really wasn't what I wanted. I was hoping to... Probably didn't even have to stasis it. I just wanted to get high enough to jump. Seriously? Anyone else really bad at timing those things? When I did the... Oh my gosh, I forget which divine beast it was. But I struggled with that so many times where I just had to like barely tiptoe to get to a specific height. Oh my gosh, I just did it again. Just Link. This is what's gonna take this thing 3 hours, is me getting through this dumb shrine. But yeah, I just had to like barely inch up to like go over something that was rotating. And I failed it so many times, and I was getting so irritated. Even though I seem like I'm handling this so well. Goodness gracious, I can't believe it was that difficult. Yeah, I'm not worried about that treasure chest. But yeah, I was like, Link, just take a little teensy weensy baby step. Well, looks like it was a staircase assembled by a child, but it works. Alrighty. Well, now I feel like that set such a different precedence over anything else I might do for this type of challenges. Oh, it only is less than an hour and a half. False. But again, I mean, I feel like everything else would have just been too much, you know? But there's hundreds of thousands of combinations, so that can be something for the future. Row 1 might not have been too bad. And again, if it's something that you guys like, then maybe I'll do a 2-thing bingo on this. And we'll have to do... Because I feel like row 1 wouldn't be too bad. Again, if the sunken treasure, I feel like that's just one of the the stable quests. Where the guy's just like, oh, you just gotta follow it down the river and see where it is. Snow Quill is just money grinding. And going to the Rito village. Oh, okay, Link, we get it, dude. We get it. Golly, you drama queen. I feel like that would probably be second best. Anything else is just kind of like, eh. Maybe 3 of the 5 aren't bad, or 2 of the 5, but... Ooh. A ram. Alright, guys. Well, yeah, there's really no other reason to, I think, drag this on. I got a bingo. It was a nice and easy card. Like I said, I'll have a link to the bingo card generator in the description. If you'd like to see more, let me know. I've enjoyed doing these, even the longer ones. But yeah, like I said, I'd love to have you guys show some interest in it and see if this is something you'd like to see some more of. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the support and kindness. You guys have an awesome day. I'll see you next time.